I was browsing around for a new video idea when I came across this site that has this really nice 3D scroll effect on their homepage. There are these images arranged in a cross pattern, and as you scroll, they move toward you in 3D space. The front layer is fully visible, the ones behind it gradually fade into the dark background, and new layers keep appearing from the back as you go, and it just loops infinitely. It's a simple concept, but it feels really immersive when you are actually scrolling through it. I thought this would be a really useful element to add to our archive, because if you have spent any time on award-winning sites, you have probably come across this kind of 3D tunnel effect in one form or another. Now, the original site most likely built theirs with Three.js, but I didn't want to go that route, so instead I leveraged GSAP to build my own version of this scroll animation. As you can see, the core idea is the same. Sets of images stacked in depth, scrolling toward the camera with that same fade to black as they go further back. The front layers comes ahead fully visible, the second one is slightly darker, and the third one fades out almost entirely before a new set cycles in from behind. The whole thing is built with just CSS perspective for the 3D depth and GSAP for the smooth scroll animation. No Three.js, no WebGL, no heavy libraries, just transforms and one scroll listener. In this video, I'll take you through the full build step by step. If you'd like to access the source code for this project along with hundreds of other similar micro projects and a brand new website template every month, you can check out the pro membership via the link in the description. And if you find my work helpful, make sure you leave a like on the video and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Alright, let's get into the code. Let's start with the markup. I'll create a section element with the class Spotlight. This is going to be the main container for the entire 3D experience, and that's literally it for the HTML. The rest gets built entirely through JavaScript. Let's move on to the styling. First, a standard reset, stripping out all default margins and paddings, setting everything to border box. For images, I am setting them to fill their container completely using width and height at 100% with object fit cover, so they always scale and crop nicely without any distortion. Now for the spotlight section, I am making it fixed so it stays locked to the viewport, full width, full height, and a solid black background. The overflow is set to hidden so nothing bleeds outside the edges. The key property here is perspective. This is what enables the entire 3D effect. It tells the browser how deep the 3D space should feel. A value of 1000 pixels gives us a nice sense of depth without things looking too distorted or too flat. Without this, every layer would just stack on top of each other and you would see no depth at all. Next is the tunnel. This is the container we'll create in JavaScript that holds all of our layers. It's positioned absolutely at the center of the spotlight using top 50%, left 50%, and a translate to pull it back into the middle. The important property here is transform style preserve 3D. This tells the browser that the children inside this element should actually be positioned in 3D space, not flattened down. So when we push layers back on the z-axis later, they'll actually appear further away. Then the layer class. Each layer represents a group of 4 images sitting at the same depth in the tunnel. They are positioned absolutely, so they all stack at the same origin point, and then in JavaScript, we'll push each one to a different z position to create that depth. For the items, these are the individual image containers that sit on each layer. They are absolutely positioned with a fixed width and height, and later in JavaScript, we'll place 4 of them in a cross pattern on each layer. And finally, the item overlay. This is a div that sits directly on top of each image. It's a solid black layer with its opacity controlled by a CSS variable called overlay. When the overlay value is 0, the image is fully visible. When it's 1, the image is completely blacked out. This is how we'll control the fade effect by updating this variable from JavaScript based on how far back each layer is in the tunnel. And pointer events none, so it doesn't interfere with any interactions. That covers the styling. Let's move on to the JavaScript. First things first, we'll pull in GSAP. That's the only dependency we need for this one. We'll use it for the smooth scroll animation and to apply transforms on each frame. Next, I'll set up a config object with 4 values. Total images is the number of images we want in the tunnel. Scroll speed controls how fast the tunnel moves when you scroll. Layer gap is the distance in pixels between each layer on the z-axis, and lerp is the smoothing factor for the scroll. The lower this value, the smoother and laggier the movement feels. Now we need to figure out a few things based on that config. First, content layer count. Since each layer holds 4 images, we just divide the total image count by 4 and round up. So with 12 images, that gives us 3 content layers. Then total layer count. We need more layers than just the content layers because some layers need to be sitting far back in the tunnel waiting to scroll into view. So we take the content layer count or 6, whichever is higher. This gives the tunnel enough depth for layers to wrap around smoothly without any popping. Tunnel depth is just the total number of layers multiplied by the gap between them. This is the full length of our 3D space. Visible depth is how far back we want layers to remain visible. We are showing 3 layers at a time, so it's 3 times the layer gap. Exit point is how far past the camera a layer is allowed to travel before it wraps back to the end of the tunnel. An initial scroll is the starting scroll position, which pushes the front layer closer to the camera right from the start, so you are not looking at everything from far away on load. Next, I'll grab a reference to the spotlight section we set up in the HTML. Then we create the tunnel container. This is just a div with the tunnel class that we append inside the spotlight. This is the element with the preserve 3D on it, so everything we place inside will actually be positioned in 3D space. I'll also set up an empty array called layer data. This is where we'll store a reference to each layer element along with its starting Z position, so we can update them efficiently in the animation loop later. Now let's build out the layers. We'll loop through the total layer count and for each iteration create a new div with the layer class. Inside each layer, we need to figure out which images belong to it. The image start index uses modulo on the content layer count, so the images cycle and repeat across all layers. So if we have 3 content layers but 6 total layers, layers 4, 5 and 6 just repeat the same images as layers 1, 2 and 3. Then we loop 4 times to create the 4 items on each layer. The image number is calculated from the start index plus the current position, and if that number exceeds the total image count, we break out early so the last layer doesn't end up with empty slots. Now for positioning, we want the 4 images arranged in a cross pattern, one at the top, one on the right, one at the bottom and one on the left. To do that, we place them along an elliptical path. The angle for each item is calculated by dividing its index by 4 and multiplying by a full circle, then offsetting by -half pi. So the first item starts at the top. We define 2 radians, one for the horizontal spread and one for the vertical, and then use cosine and sine to get the x and y positions. The small offsets at the end just shift everything so the items are centered on their own position rather than anchored from the top left corner. With the position figured out, we create the item div, give it the item class and set its left and top values to place it where it needs to be on that layer. Then inside each item, we create an image element. The source is set dynamically using the image number, so it points to image1.jpg, image2.jpg and so on. We also set an alt attribute for accessibility and append it into the item. After the image, we create the overlay div. This is the black layer we styled earlier with CSS, the one whose opacity is driven by the overlay CSS variable. We append it on top of the image inside the same item. This is what will let us fade each image to black based on its depth in the tunnel. Once the item is fully assembled, we append it to the current layer, and after all 4 items are added, we append the layer into the tunnel and we push an entry into a layer data array. Each entry stores a reference to the layer element and its base Z, which is its starting position along the Z-axis. The first layer starts at 0, the second one at -2500, the third at -5000, and so on. Each one pushed further back by the layer gap. Now let's set up the scroll tracking. We need 2 variables here. Target scroll is where the scroll wants to be, and current scroll is where it actually is right now. Both start at the initial scroll value we defined earlier. The gap between these two is what creates the smooth eased movement. The target jumps ahead instantly when we scroll, and the current value chases it gradually. Next, a wheel event listener on the window. Every time you scroll, we take the delta y value, which is how far the wheel moved, multiplied by our scroll speed and add it to the target. That's it. We are not moving anything here, just updating where the tunnel should be heading. The actual movement happens in the animation loop. Now the overlay function. This is what controls how visible or hidden each layer is based on its Z position. It's broken into 4 simple cases. If Z is past the exit point, meaning the layer is flown completely past the camera, we return 1, fully blacked out. If Z is between 0 and the exit point, the layer is flying past the camera, so we fade it out linearly as it moves further away from the viewer. If Z is between 0 and negative visible depth, the layer is in the viewable range behind the camera. And here we use a quadratic curve. We take how far back the layer is as a fraction of the visible depth and square it. Squaring it means the front layer stays bright, the second layer is only slightly darkened, and the third layer gets significantly darker. It's a really natural fall off, and if Z is beyond the visible depth, the layer is too far back to see, so we return 1 again, fully hidden. And finally, the animation loop. We hook into GSAP sticker, which fires on every frame. The first thing it does is update the current scroll position. On each frame, it moves a small fraction of the way from where it is now toward the target. That fraction is our loved value. This is what gives the whole thing that smooth, weighted feel instead of everything snapping instantly to the scroll position. Then we loop through every layer. For each one, we start by calculating its Z position, we take its base position and add the current scroll value. And that comes the wrapping logic. This is what makes the tunnel infinite. We use modulo to wrap the Z value into the total tunnel depth range and then shift it so layers sit between the negative end of the tunnel and the exit point. So when a layer flies past the camera and goes beyond the exit point, it wraps around and reappears at the very back of the tunnel. And when you scroll backwards, the same thing happens in reverse. The layers just keep cycling. Once we have the final Z position, we pass it into our overlay function to get the fade value, and then we apply everything using GSAP's set method. We set the Z transform to position the layer in 3D space. We update the overlay CSS variable which controls the black overlay opacity on each image, and we toggle visibility so any layer that's fully blacked out gets hidden entirely, which keeps things clean and avoids the browser from rendering layers you can't even see. And with that, we are done. A fully infinite 3D scroll tunnel with smooth scrolling, depth-based fading, and automatic layer wrapping, all built with just GSAP and a bit of CSS perspective. Hope you found the video helpful. See you in the next one.